Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a productive Thursday. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition. The National Bank of Rwanda has announced that it has raised its key lending rate to 6.75%, up from 6.5%, as part of efforts to continue controlling rising prices in the market. Experts in psychology say that whether it is a surrogate mother, a child, or the family that will raise the child, all of them should be monitored and given emotional support, and that society should also accept and support them rather than stigmatize them. On the international scale, Microsoft's head of artificial intelligence has warned that there are increasing reports of people suffering from what has been called AI psychosis. Once again, we're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and our bringing you tonight's edition is Martina Abera. Let us begin by informing you that the National Bank of Rwanda has announced that it has raised its key lending rate to 6.75%, up from 6.5%, as part of efforts to continue controlling rising prices in the market. In a press briefing on Thursday, the central bank leadership explained decisions taken by the Monetary Policy Committee and the Financial Stability Committee for the second quarter of the year. Among them was a 0.25% increase in the benchmark interest rate, raising it to 6.75% in response to inflationary pressures that appeared to be accelerating. Data for the second quarter of 2025 shows inflation at 6.7%, while BNR projects it to end the year at 7.1%, within the target range of 2 to 8%. BNR Governor Soraya Hakuziraimye explained that other targeted measures are also being implemented to ensure the price increases do not negatively impact households. The pressure on the Rwandan franc against the US dollar has eased, with depreciation dropping to 2.96% in June 2025, down from 3.73% in 2024. This improvement was driven by a 15.5% increase in exports in quarter 2 2025, compared to a 3.3% rise in imports, narrowing the trade deficit by minus 2.9%. Recent measures to stabilize the currency include tighter restrictions on the illegal use of foreign exchange, which the governor confirmed have already yielded positive results. According to BNR figures, Rwanda's financial sector grew by 23% in the first 6 months of 2025, reaching total assets worth of 14.3 trillion Rwandan francs in June 2025, up from 11.6 trillion Rwandan francs in June 2024. Banks grew by 23%, microfinance institutions by 21%, insurance companies by 18%, pension funds by 26%, non-deposit-taking financial institutions by 36%, foreign exchange bureaus by 24%. Moving ahead, in Yokohama, Japan, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe attended the opening ceremony of the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, where he delivered remarks in the plenary session on peace and stability, ensuring human dignity and human security. Adam Squizera with more.
In his address, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe noted that the recent economic, geopolitical, and climate-related crises have disproportionately impacted Africa, creating new challenges and, in some cases, reversing development gains. He underscored the achievements of the African Union Peace Fund, which has now reached $400 million target, with growing contributions from the private sector. The minister reaffirmed Rwanda's commitment to supporting peace across the continent, citing Rwanda's response to formal requests from the partner countries such as the Central African Republic and Mozambique. He emphasized that this has not deterred Rwanda from continuing its contributions to peacekeeping missions in South Sudan and Central African Republic. On the sidelines of this summit, Minister Nduhungirehe met Peter Sands, Executive Director of the Global Fund, where they discussed ways to strengthen cooperation in the health sector. Rwanda has been part of the Global Fund partnership since 2003. During this time, significant progress has been made in the fight against HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria. He also met Ahuna Eziakonwa, the UN Assistant Secretary General of the UNDP, Assistant Administrator and Regional Director for Africa, whereas they discussed topics of common interest, including the Timbuktu Initiative, a Pan-African Youth Innovation Startup Facility. Closing the first day, Minister Nduhungirehe met with Andre Bogi, Assistant Director General of International Labour Organization, as their discussion focused on cooperation and potential joint projects. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead to marital health matters, experts in psychology say that whether it is a surrogate mother, the child, or the family that will raise the child, all of them should be monitored and given emotional support, and that society should also accept and support them rather than stigmatize them. They make these remarks as citizens express satisfaction that this method has been included in Rwanda's healthcare law. The Healthcare Services Law was recently passed by members of parliament, and among its provisions is assisted production through technology, where a person can carry a pregnancy for another, surrogacy. In this case, people facing infertility problems as confirmed by a medical specialist can access surrogacy services in accordance with laws and regulations. Parents expressed joy at this provision because it was much needed, knowing the pain of being childless. The specialist in gynecology, Dr. Semwaga Emmanuel, said there were people in need of this service of having someone carry a pregnancy for them, since they had healthy gametes, but lacked a way to make use of them rather, and this law has come to provide a solution. Lawyer and Deputy Director of the Rwanda Civil Society Platform, Christopher Sengoga, explained what unpaid surrogacy means, also referring to how it is practiced elsewhere. Professor Vincent Sezibera, an expert in mental health, said that a child born through surrogacy, the egg donor, and the surrogate mother should all be monitored and provided with mental health support. The Minister of State in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Yvonne Butera, stated that assisted reproduction through technology will be carried out based on agreements between both parties. On the 4th of August 2025, members of parliament passed the Healthcare Service Law, which also covers assisted reproduction. This law is made up of 111 articles, including those allowing those in need to be supported in finding a surrogate. Now, the justice sector officials and court users affirm that since the introduction of the integrated electronic case management system for Rwanda, it has helped reduce loopholes such as corruption and frequent travel previously required to access services. However, residents in rural areas who need judicial services say the system is not always convenient for them. For instance, a court may summon an accused person through the system, but if they fail to receive the notification, they might miss the scheduled session. As a result, the trial proceeds in their absence and a ruling may be issued without their input. Rwanda continues to put significant effort into expanding digital solutions across different public services. IECMS, which was introduced in 2016, mainly within the justice sector, was designed to digitize case management, reduce trial delays, and ease access to justice for citizens. Since then, the platform has undergone regular upgrades to further improve court efficiency, enable online case tracking, streamline judgments, and ensure smooth coordination across all judicial institutions. A new report from the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda shows that products from industries, including chemicals and plastic materials, decreased by 13.6% in June compared to 2025 compared to 2024. However, investors in plastic manufacturing industries in Rwanda say the market for these products is expanding due to housing developments and international trade. Across the country, various products from more than 5 factories are used in households, businesses, agriculture, and elsewhere. These include chairs, buckets, basins, plates, and other items used for irrigation and more. These are among the products commonly used by citizens. Environmental expert Faustin Vuningoma believes that a policy is needed to establish ways of recycling these products so they do not become a problem in the future.
The only remedy we have is ensuring that politically policy establishing recycling as a policy measure or a policy action should be in place to ensure that those plastics are sorted and returned into the industries that are able to recycle them into reusable materials again. And I think it's very critical that the users of these final products are educated to return the plastic materials back into the factories that can be able to recycle them.
A new report from the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda shows that products from chemical and plastic industries decreased by 13.9% in June 2025 compared to the same month last year. Meanwhile, industrial production overall increased by 8.5%. Annual figures show that overall industrial output also increased by 6.4%. Visitors and residents near Volcanoes National Park are pleased that gorilla tourism is now completed by cultural tourism. They say this has created opportunities for tourists because it allows them to learn about Rwandan history and culture while also generating income for those in the cultural industry. Rwanda's beauty includes mountains covered with bamboo, rivers and lakes, as well as natural forests that host a wide variety of biodiversity, including mountain gorillas that play a major role in promoting tourism. American national Belio Drain did not have much information about African countries. When she retired, she decided to come to Rwanda to visit the mountain gorillas.
Everybody has to come for the gorillas. But I did not know a lot about Rwandan culture. I don't know a lot about African culture, to tell you the truth, other than the brief over in high school. So as I retired, I just decided that was my mission in life. I was going to find out about other cultures and other people and how they interact and how they fit in the world.
In the last 20 years, the government of Rwanda has invested heavily in promoting and developing tourism through various programs. Among them is the annual ceremony of naming baby gorillas. The benefits from this tourism also reach residents living near Volcanoes National Park. Gorilla-based tourism in the volcanoes has played a major role in creating new jobs, including cultural tourism, where tourists are shown the lifestyle of ancient Rwandans and different activities carried out in cultural industries, including crafts, weaving, and blacksmithing.
I think the thing I liked the most was the wedding ceremony. I thought that was really good. I'd not seen one before, but I would hesitate to say it was the best thing because so much of it was good. You know, seeing how the blacksmith used to work, and seeing how they collect the herbs, and seeing how the native dances were. It's perfect. Gives you a real overview of the Rwandan culture and just how full it is. You know, how vivid it is, how much is invested in it, in the sense of time over the ages and the people.
Residents near Volcanoes National Park who work in cultural tourism are pleased that this type of tourism has also helped them improve their livelihoods. When presenting the government's program to members of parliament, Prime Minister Dr. Justin Sengiyumva stated that the government's goal is to make Rwanda a hub of tourism and nearly double the revenue generated from it. To achieve this goal, the government of Rwanda needs to expand and improve existing sites, as well as create new attractions that draw tourists across the country, including the expansion of Volcanoes National Park. Now, students pursuing science-related subjects say that being equipped with more knowledge in the use of technology helps them to innovate and come up with solutions to pressing societal challenges. This Thursday marked the conclusion of the Africa Science Week, which was attended by secondary school and university students.
Nathan Nyomugabo, a general medical student at the University of Rwanda, says that she previously thought technology-related subjects were not necessary for her profession, but after the training she received during the Science Week, she realized that they were very essential.
I came here expecting to know like the basic skills to code or to, because I feel like coding, it's cool, it's good. And when I came here, they gave us the things to code, and I did them, and then I saw the results, the immediate results of what I was coding. I gave the command to the Python, which is a tool that we are learning, and then after giving the command, it gave me the immediate results. So it gave me confidence that this is the things that I can learn.
Jeanette adds that the training exposed her to a tool she can use in real life to solve problems as an upcoming doctor.
This Python, I can use it in real life, like solving problems using like logical. You just use the logical steps and then you apply it in solving problems in my real life. Like me, I'm a medical student. I'm going to become a doctor soon. So I will need to know like how many patients did I receive today? What did they come with? So instead of writing them manually, I can use the Python, this tool, and I give them the command. I give it the command, and then give me the whole results. Just simply and very quick.
Lema Lugamu Seknuan, a senior data scientist at the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, reaffirmed that AIMS Science Week aims at preparing African youths to become excellent at using their knowledge to solve practical problems.
The training was mainly about design thinking, like thinking solutions, and then come up with a product, a final product that can be delivered to the users or something like that. And yeah, we started with the basics in Python, so that they can be used for high-level computations. And afterwards, after the basics, we also carried out a little bit of data science, like loading in data and process data. If time allowed, we could have also gone far to build dashboards, so that it could be like user-friendly instead of having a bunch of codes. I was very happy to be part of this training week, and we are all involved to make Africa great. So I'm very happy. Yeah.
Africa Science Week is an annual training program that brings together technology experts and young people who are studying or aspiring to pursue careers in technology. Rwanda plans to train more than 1 million youths in technology under the second phase of the government's National Strategy for Transformation, NST2. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, William, for that report. Now, residents of the sectors of Rubavu and Chanzarwe in Rubavu district are being urged to take part in safeguarding national security and to promote unity, as these are the foundations of building and developing the country while also avoiding the spread of rumors. This was emphasized by Major General Eugene Nkubito, the commander of the RDF in the Western Province, during discussions held with them on Thursday. The residents of these sectors admitted that they had been complacent but pledged to put more effort into strengthening the nation's security, especially since some children from these areas had joined the FDLR in the Democratic Republic of Congo to destabilize Rwanda's security. The governor of the Western Province, J. Bosco Nibitura, reminded residents that visitors in their households must be known and reported to village authorities as a way of preserving security. In the ongoing discussions between the provincial leadership and these communities, residents are also being reminded to prioritize the education of their children, as some drop out of school and join armed groups like FDLR and Wazalendo in the DRC. They are also being urged to fight smuggling and to uphold a culture of mutual support. Another major concern highlighted in these sectors is fraud-related dispossession, where people lose their houses and farmland to schemes, leaving them empty-handed. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources says there is a need for greater involvement of the private sector to increase the number of machines used in farming, as the current ones, less than 250 nationwide, are only used for plowing. This was highlighted during the official launch of a mechanization hub in Nyagatare district, a center designed to help farmers access and use farming machines. The hub started with 15 plowing machines, which will be rented out to farmers while also offering training on their proper use. Residents of Nyagatare, especially agro-pastoralists, noted that the shortage of such machines has long affected their productivity. Figures show that nearly 60% of Nyagatare's population depends on farming, while about 30% rely on livestock. However, herders are now implementing a policy to cultivate 70% of their grazing land, which has led to a higher demand for machines. Out of the more than 83,000 hectares cultivated in the district, only 7,000 are worked on using machines, which limits yields. Beyond Nyagatare, a similar mechanization hub was opened last year in Kayonza district. Partners of the Ministry of Agriculture, including Heifer International, say they are committed to establishing more of these centers in other districts. The ministry acknowledges that the number of machines in the country is still far too low, fewer than 250, but State Minister Dr. Telesfor Ndabamenye said measures are underway to work closely with development partners to address this gap. Apart from supporting Nyagatare farmers, the new hub will also serve neighboring districts, including Gatsibo. Last year, the 15 machines at the Kayonza Mechanization Hub assisted over 6,000 farmers to cultivate 3,000 hectares of land.
Journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not one, not two, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyange's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyange.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza ndaturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
Get ready for one of the biggest celebrations of the year. It's the 20th edition of Rwanda's iconic Kwitizina Gorilla Naming Ceremony, happening on Friday, September 5th, 2025, at the breathtaking foothills of Volcanoes National Park. Join thousands of guests, local communities, and international visitors as we honor Rwanda's newest mountain gorilla babies and celebrate 2 decades of conservation success. Celebrate the vibrant spirit of Rwanda. Join us for an unforgettable festival showcasing the best of Rwandan culture with traditional dances, live performances, and much more. Experience the heart and soul of Rwanda like never before. Come witness this global event where celebrities and conservation champions unite to name Rwanda's beloved gorillas. It's an experience like no other, a true celebration of conservation and culture. Mark your calendars and get ready for a week of exciting events. Be part of the story. Be part of the future of conservation. For more details, visit www.kwitizina.rw and be part of Rwanda's conservation legacy. Kwitizina 2025, where tradition meets celebration. Don't miss it.
Cervical cancer is one of the leading causes of death among women globally, including in Rwanda. Yet, it can be prevented through vaccination if the vaccine is taken early enough. That is why the Ministry of Health has established a program to vaccinate all girls against this cancer. The vaccine is now administered in a single dose only. It has been observed that some girls in Rwanda missed out on this vaccine, and thus a special campaign has been organized to provide the cervical cancer vaccine free of charge to girls aged 12 to 17 years who have never received it before. The campaign will run from August 4 to August 30, 2025 in all health centers across Rwanda. Don't miss this opportunity. Dear parents, vaccinate your daughter on time, remembering that protecting her health is your responsibility. This message is from the Ministry of Health through the Rwanda Biomedical Center, RBC.
Thank you for sticking with us on RTV News, and welcome back to stories making headlines on the international scene. Now, Microsoft's head of artificial intelligence has warned that there are increasing reports of people suffering from what has been called AI psychosis. In a series of posts on X, he has noted that seemingly conscious AI are keeping him awake at night, and noted that they have societal impact even though the technology is not conscious in any human definition of the term. BBC News with the details.
Hugh from Scotland says he became convinced that he was about to become a multi-millionaire after turning to an AI chatbot to help him when he lost his job. It began by giving him practical advice, but ended up telling him that a book and a movie about his experience would make him more than £5 million.
The more information that I give the chatbot, the more I would say, "Oh, this treatment's terrible. You should really be getting more than this." And it would ask me for more information. I would feed it more, and the number would just get higher and higher. It would go from 10 grand to into the millions, basically.
Hugh already had mental health problems and ended up having a breakdown. He says taking medication made him realise the money wasn't real. He doesn't blame the technology. He says it signposted citizens' advice, but he ignored it because it was so convincing.
AI psychosis is a non-clinical term to describe people who start using chatbots like ChatGPT, Grok and Claude and start to lose touch with reality. I've had messages from people convinced that the tech has fallen in love with them, or think they've unlocked a secret human inside it, or even think it's deliberately trying to harm them.
A survey of 2,000 UK adults carried out for Bangor University's Emotional AI Lab found that 57% thought it was strongly inappropriate for the tech to identify as a real person if asked. But 49% thought the use of voice was appropriate to make chatbots sound more engaging. 20% thought children under the age of 18 shouldn't use AI at all.
We as professionals and doctors may start having to ask people when we see them in clinic how much AI they're using, how it's affecting their lives, just like we would for smoking, alcohol, you know. We already know what ultra-processed foods can do to the body, and I think with this ultra-processed information, we're going to get an avalanche of ultra-processed minds that we need to deal with.
The advice is to make sure you double-check everything a chatbot tells you and don't stop talking to real people. Finally, if you feel like you're using AI to make all your decisions for you, think about taking a step back. Zoe Kleinman, BBC News.
And that BBC report marks the end of our bulletin. Before we wind up, let's have a recap of our headlines. The National Bank of Rwanda has announced that it has raised its key lending rate to 6.75%, up from 6.5%, as part of efforts to continue controlling rising prices in the market. Experts in psychology say that whether it is a surrogate mother, the child, or the family that will raise the child, all of them should be monitored and given emotional support, and that society should also accept and support them rather than stigmatize them. On the international scale, Microsoft's head of artificial intelligence has warned that there are increasing reports of people suffering from what has been called AI psychosis. And we have come to the end of tonight's English News Bulletin. On behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, thank you for being with us this evening. My name is Martina Abera, and until next time, stay safe and have a good night.
Ikaze ku mwanya w'iteganyagihe mutegurirwa na Meteo Rwanda, mugiye kurigezwaho na Francine Musanganire. Nta mvura duteganya ku munsi w'ejo ku itariki ya 22 Kanama 2025 kuva ku masaha y'imitondo kugera ku masaha yo ku gicamunsi. Kuri uyu munsi nabwo ku itariki ya 21 ikirere cy'u Rwanda cyaranzwe muri rusange